for my SubD Chair Masterclass, or however you want to call it. We will do more, of course. This was just a start. Now, in this video, we will look at how we can close any open surfaces on our SubD model and how to refine the model using the smooth tool. And we will learn how we can smooth the entire object, but also portions of it. And we will fine tune the model, and then we will also further subdivide it to make a very detailed model, which we can then use in any, I don't know, any other 3D software, render engine, whatever you want to use. But before we jump in, a quick shout out to Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is one of my newest members. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And what's funny, you have a few videos here very recently. Actually, you uploaded 2 videos 5 years ago, but you have a few other videos up, and this caught my eye. This last one, the Atlantica project video, caught my eye. I realized you don't have a lot of information on your videos, so I was looking up this Atlantica Museum and realized this is a website. It's an online museum of things, of 3D models, basically. Sketchfab models. You could look at, for example, here the Edinburgh Castle. It's actually quite impressive how super detailed this all is. But yeah, this is really nice. So thanks for that. I should make a video about Sketchfab at some point. All right, Kevin, thank you so much for supporting my channel. And if you have any questions, please drop me a line. Now, I will jump now back into Rhino, into the final video for the SubD Chair Masterclass. Alright, that's where we were in the last video. That's where we ended up in the last video. And now we have 2 options here. We can either close both sides. We can close these holes on both sides from inside and outside, or we merge inside and outside. So it is more like in the sketch. And I want to keep that because I felt like this was quite unique. It also creates a few more challenges, which allows us to learn a bit more. All right, let's try this. Append, by the way, I always would hope that Rhino would make custom shortcuts more available. It's not really that straightforward. In Blender, for example, you have a much better shortcuts. It's just so more accessible, and it's much more economic to work with, especially with this SubD modeling. Often you just need to tap one key on your keyboard and you have the command ready, and that's kind of what I miss in Rhino. Okay, let's see where we are. Here it's gonna be really tricky, I think. All right, okay, we can continue. Append. It's very pinchy here, but we can then always, later we will clean everything up, make everything a bit more palatable, and we can even do now a bit of cleaning here. I will also explain a bit more about the Gumball and the different modes, because this is not the only way to work with the Gumball. There's other ways. Here probably can have another division. No, that's not what I want. You can do it like this, midpoint, and yes, okay. So now we can close this here. Okay, we can close this. Here we need to be really careful. All right, let's try this. It becomes a bit tricky here, I think. Then we have this one. Here's quite flat. It's a bit strange. And here we have too many. Maybe let's do this. And then we have this pinch point. What are we gonna do? Sometimes. Oh no. Oh, that's what I really don't like. That you're gonna lose this if you don't confirm. It's it's super annoying. It's like, come on, it's so annoying. And then this doesn't work here. Okay, confirm. I think we need another edge loop here. So then we are creating more points. Let's try that. So confirm. All right. Okay. Append. Becomes super flat here, but we can fix it, I hope. Yes. That was actually not so difficult. Not as difficult as I thought. Just need to add one more of these edge loops and we're good to go. It just doesn't look very nice at the moment, I feel. Okay, let's look at this in the hard edge mode. So we closed the hole, but now we need to make sure that this actually makes sense in terms of the distribution of the different points. What we can do is, what's the cool thing about these hard seams is that they don't move even though we use the smooth function. So we can smooth out areas or the whole object. Let's have a look how that works. So we can select everything and try the smooth function. The smooth function will kind of distribute the points more evenly, as you can see, but it's not changing these hard corners, which that is very, very useful. So it already looks a bit better. These holes are bigger than I wanted, but I feel like it's appropriate. Anyway, let's check a bit more. We need to clean up this a bit here, and I will make this. I will just work in the hard edge mode at the moment. We'll turn on the points and make sure this is better distributed overall. I don't know why this is not showing. I can go into the top. Now it would be nice to have actually a top view. So we could go here and view up. I can put here the perspective. That was also useful. Shaded. Okay, and then here we're gonna put top. No, here I actually want to have the front view. So these are aligned, and then here we have top. Okay, because then I can work directly in here. I want to make sure this is way more evenly distributed. So it looks cool from all sides. Here there's something wrong with this edge seam. So I'll go here to curves. I'll make this a seam. Opla, this was not what I want. Oops. So it's called crease, not seam actually. Okay, and here we're gonna get rid of it. Yes, that's what I want. So it feels more consistent. Now I can go here and push these back. And actually it's sometimes better to work in the hard edge mode, because there you can really see where it's not correctly distributed yet. I can see that here it could be more rounded. If you fix the hard edge mode points, then it automatically looks good later on. Okay, making sure that it's all distributed evenly and to each other. This doesn't feel right at all. So we're gonna potentially, I could add another loop here inside. That could be an option. We can also select edge loops like this and then modify the whole thing. In that case, if I want to make this thinner, I can just grab here this. So actually you can see already what it does. So you can either scale 1D or 3D by shift. If you press now shift, it scales everything 3D. It's a bit weird. That was not what I wanted. Or just 2D. That's also possible. You do the same here. And we can also smooth out portions of the object or of this seat. So for example, I could go here and only smooth out this selection here, and that would make everything a bit nicer. So let's do the same here. We could even take the whole thing, that's also possible. We could use the select brush. Yeah, that was not ideal, but you get the point. Now let's see if we can only, I could only select all the points and smooth that out if I want and see where it goes. Okay, this feels much better. Also looks better from the back. Yeah, I could try also this portion here. I'm not happy with this in portion here. I would like to have this edge a bit more prominent here. Okay, let's first work on this. I just want to add this. By the way, I would not need to select everything on each side. Actually, I just need to select one. I could select just one side, and selecting this here actually doesn't actually make any sense because that is on the mirrored side. So I would need to add this here. that was not good because it's also, I get rid of these maybe in the middle. Don't need this really. Okay, so let's try this again. It's cool, but actually I don't want to, I want this to become too thin. Let's go back here. It was more about the distribution between these few points here. This also doesn't look so great here. This should be more like this. Now, one very important aspect here as well, I haven't really touched on that, but in the Gumball setting. So the Gumball is not just this tool as you see it here. It can be adjusted to do different things. So you can align it to, for example, the C-plane, to the object, the world, and the view, which is really, really important. If I go here on object, then you can see it now changed to the orientation of the object which is selected, which is the point. And that's of course super useful when I do these micro adjustments. In that case now it could be probably even better to use the snap to view, but no, I stick with the option here, with the world, sorry, with the align to object option. And I can just now see here, by the way, I have another seam here which I don't want. So I will select this and here, yes, unseam. And then now sometimes, of course, if I now choose both points here, then it becomes a bit weird. I can go back to my world, sorry, to my C-plane or world coordinates and pull this like this. It's also okay. Here it's very thin, so I will just pull this back a bit. Yeah, this doesn't feel right either. It's okay if this becomes a bit more bulky. And always good to switch to hard edge mode to see where the problems are. And then you can of course smooth this again if you want. Sometimes the Gumball is really annoying here, so you can turn it off. And also, yes, I forgot, you can actually turn off certain coordinates and smooth only in a certain direction. That's probably quite useful in that case. But yeah, I think this feels much better and I think I'm more or less done. Now, if, of course, you can play around forever with this. But yeah, I think it's quite nice, quite a unique model also. Let's see, there's a few points which I'm not happy yet with. This portion here is also not really ideal, I think. There's, of course, always room for improvement. Here, this doesn't feel right at all. So I would probably push this out here. Yeah, that feels better. Again, I mean, you could play forever. Now let's check a last check on each side. I think it's quite interesting. And of course we can still play around with this and, for example, push this, make some more macro adjustments and like see if we need to push a bit more. Maybe this needs to be more in, coming in or out. Maybe this whole thing needs to be more like this. So I'm thinking maybe I should draw a clipping plane and just make a last final check and see how that's actually a really cool animation. I could use this as an animation. All right, anyway, I can talk about animation another time. Now, if you are happy with this, you can also make it more resolution, as I did in my intro animation. Just to be very clear, I did the intro animation in Blender. It's just because I'm more familiar with the render engine there. It's just more straightforward. But of course there is, you know, if you have V-Ray or if you work with, I don't know which render engine, probably any of these can do a decent job. Every render engine has its pros and cons for sure. But what we could do, we could make this more detailed, and I would just copy this whole thing and maybe I do this. Duplicate and objects. Okay, so I have my chair here and here, and I close this. So I can take everything and subdivide everything more. Then you get a much more detailed model, and you can of course do that not just once but twice, and that creates a very smooth 3D model, like a mesh model. You can also then, I don't know. Then, yes, I forgot about that. So then you can remove the SubD symmetry. So if I go here and remove, then I have one object, and then you could, you know, change things like that, you know, on one side. An asymmetric chair. You know, this was the first step. This is our model, second subdivision, and third one. And then we could have done this. We could have said remove subdivision and then add our, remove the mirror and then add our subdivision. It's the same. All right. So I think this is pretty cool. In the next, so I will make another series for SubD modeling, and we will use Grasshopper and SubD. I'm already looking forward to this. All right. I think that's it. I hope you like this video. In the next upcoming videos, I will explain again SubD modeling, but we will use SubD and Grasshopper, and I'm super excited about this. This could be quite interesting. I haven't seen any tutorial about SubD and Grasshopper together, and that could be quite amazing. So please watch the space, subscribe, and if you wanna support my channel, check out my membership options. See you in the next video. Ciao.